A 14-year-old kills a taxi driver for 15,000 euros, while a 15-year-old boy, dreaming of a rap career, dies in a gang shootout. 40% of residents in the northern districts live in poverty, and gangs offer them money and respect. In 2024, the police arrested 1,200 drug dealers and seized 740 weapons, including assault rifles. Some neighborhoods are so dangerous that the police fear entering them, describing them as war zones. This isn't Mexico. This is the reality of Marseille. Marseille, the oldest city in France, the pearl of the Mediterranean, with a port that has connected Europe to the rest of the world for over 2,600 years. By day, it's a paradise for tourists. Turquoise seas, the scent of lavender, the bustle of Vieux-Port, and the majestic Notre Dame de la Garde Basilica. But when night falls, this city transforms beyond recognition. Shootings in the streets, gang wars, neighborhoods where even the police hesitate to enter without backup. This isn't the script of an action movie, it's the daily reality of Marseille, the city that in 2024 bears the infamous title of Europe's most dangerous. Why has this place, which could be a symbol of French charm, become a battlefield? What makes Marseille so different? In this episode, we'll show you the latest 2024 statistics, share stories that will chill your blood, and try to understand why this city has become a symbol of crime. Marseille is a city of two faces, both fascinating and terrifying. Founded in 600 BCE by Greeks from Phocaea as Massalia, it was the first Greek city in Western Europe. For centuries, its port served as a bridge between Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Today, it's France's second-largest city, home to over 870,000 people, a significant portion of whom are immigrants, creating a vibrant but sometimes tense cultural mosaic. The newspaper Le Monde describes Marseille as a divided city. The affluent south, with luxurious apartments and cafes, contrasts sharply with the northern neighborhoods, cités, where 40% of residents live below the poverty line. Le Figaro, on the other hand, calls Marseille a black stain on France's map due to its record-breaking crime levels. According to the global database Numbeo, in 2024, Marseille recorded a crime index of 65.9, the highest in Europe. Residents complain of theft, vandalism, and the omnipresent drug trade that fuels violence. In the first half of 2024, authorities seized 1.8 tons of cocaine in the port, signaling growing cartel activity. This is a city of contrasts. Tourists stroll through Le Panier, admiring colorful townhouses, while in La Castellane or Félix Piat, gang wars rage. Young people, sometimes as young as 14, are recruited by gangs as lookouts to warn of police presence. Let's dive into the numbers, as they best illustrate the scale of the problem. According to reports, Marseille remains one of France's crime capitals. Key statistics from the department encompassing Marseille for 2024: homicides, 4.1 per 100,000 residents, well above the national average of 1.5. Car thefts, 7.5 per 1,000 residents, one of the highest rates in the country. Physical assaults, 5.8 per 1,000 residents, a 7% increase from 2023. Drug-related crimes, drug trafficking accounted for 42% of all crimes in the city. France Info reports that in 2024, Marseille recorded 42 fatalities linked to the drug trade, many of them young people under 20, while Euronews notes that the number of homicides dropped threefold compared to the record-breaking 2023, 49 victims. The problem remains severe. In September 2024 alone, gang shootings claimed 6 lives, including a 15-year-old boy in La Castellane. In 2024, police arrested 1,200 individuals connected to drug trafficking, a 26% increase from 2023. They also seized 740 weapons, including 60 assault rifles, 24% more than in 2022. Moreover, in the first half of 2024, there were 15 attacks on officers, including a brutal incident in Félix Piat, where 2 policemen were injured. These figures show that, despite some progress, Marseille remains a city where organized crime thrives. As I mentioned, Marseille is a divided city. The tourist-friendly center, Vieux-Port, Le Panier, La Corniche, is relatively safe and full of life. But in the northern neighborhoods known as Les Quartiers Nord, different rules apply. Le Monde calls these areas lawless zones, where gangs wield more control than the police. Here are 3 neighborhoods that inspire fear. La Castellane, home to the influential Yoda gang, which controls the local drug trade. La Provence describes a March 2024 raid during which police uncovered a weapons cache containing grenades, machine guns, and a large amount of ammunition. This neighborhood, notorious for brutal gang wars, has become a symbol of crime in Marseille. Residents, as reported by the media, live in constant fear, wary of stray bullets and pervasive violence. Félix Payat, an area where drug trafficking takes place almost openly, on streets and in alleyways. According to France Info, in June 2024, police conducted a large-scale operation, arresting 40 dealers in a single day. Marked by poverty and social tensions, this neighborhood is a key drug distribution hub, attracting gangs and making daily life challenging for residents. Le Cannet, a district that in 2024 became the site of the tragic murder of 36-year-old taxi driver Nessim Ramdane, accidentally shot by a 14-year-old hired killer. As reported by Le Monde, the perpetrator was acting on orders, shocking the local community. This incident revealed how deeply crime permeates Le Cannet, where even innocent residents can fall victim to gangland disputes. Marseille's prosecutor, Nicolas Besson, speaks of a new level of violence tied to the recruitment of minors. In 2024, gangs increasingly employed 14 and 15-year-olds as hitmen, offering them 15,000 to 20,000 euros per job. The story of a 15-year-old from La Castellane, who died in September 2024 as a lookout, shook the city. Media outlets describe how the boy, who dreamed of becoming a rapper, was drawn into drug trafficking to help his sick mother. His death became a symbol of the wasted potential of Marseille's youth. Behind the numbers lie human tragedies. Here are 4 stories from 2024 that touch France. The murder of Nessim Ramdane. As reported by Le Monde, a 36-year-old taxi driver from Le Cannet was tragically killed, shot by a 14-year-old who mistook him for the intended target. The perpetrator, recruited by an imprisoned criminal, was paid 15,000 euros. Nessim's uncle, quoted in the article, recalled that he was the life of the party, always smiling and well-liked, and his death was a shock to the community. He emphasized that this tragedy could have struck any resident, highlighting the unpredictable nature of violence in Marseille. The death of a 15-year-old in La Castellane. A 15-year-old boy who dreamed of becoming a rapper was killed in a brutal gang shootout in La Castellane. His story moved France, becoming a symbol of young people drawn into the criminal world. France Info reports that his death sparked a nationwide debate about the recruitment of minors by gangs, which exploit the difficult circumstances of youth in impoverished neighborhoods, offering them a false path to success. Attack on police in Félix Pyat. In Félix Pyat, a group of youths attacked a police patrol, injuring 2 officers. One policeman, quoted anonymously by La Provence, described the incident as a terrifying experience, saying they felt like they were on a battlefield. This event underscored the growing tensions between residents and law enforcement in neighborhoods where violence has become routine and police often face hostility. A mother fighting for justice. A woman whose 16-year-old son was killed in gang clashes in La Bousserine turned her personal tragedy into action. She founded a local organization to help young people steer clear of crime, offering support and alternatives. As quoted by France Info, she says that while she lost her son, she has not lost hope for a better future for other young people, inspiring the community to combat pervasive violence. Residents of La Castellane say young people see no other path because gangs offer money, respect, and a sense of belonging. What makes Marseille so dangerous? Le Monde points to 4 key factors. The port as a drug gateway. Thanks to its strategic location on the Mediterranean, Marseille is a major hub for cocaine from South America to Europe. In 2024, customs officials seized 1.8 tons of drugs in the port, a record amount, but as Le Monde emphasizes, this is only a fraction of the actual smuggling. Cartel networks use the port to transport drugs hidden in legal shipments, making detection difficult. The scale of this trade fuels local crime and strengthens the influence of gangs in the city. Poverty and exclusion. In Marseille's northern neighborhoods, such as La Castellane and Félix Pyat, youth unemployment reaches 40%, making these areas some of the poorest in France. Many families live in harsh conditions in neglected housing estates with limited access to education and jobs. As France Info notes, the lack of prospects makes young people easy targets for gangs, which offer quick cash and a sense of belonging. Weak police forces. With only 3,500 police officers for 870,000 residents, Marseille struggles to maintain control. In neighborhoods like La Castellane, police often need to operate in large groups to ensure safety. La Provence points out that the shortage of officers, combined with a rising number of incidents like the attack in Félix Piat, makes it difficult for law enforcement to curb organized crime. Social media. Authorities warn that gangs increasingly use platforms like Snapchat and Telegram to recruit young people. As reported by France Info, criminals lure teenagers with promises of easy money, sending them messages offering jobs as lookouts or couriers. These platforms, popular among youth, make it easier for gangs to reach potential recruits, posing a significant challenge for police in 2024. Le Monde observes that Marseille's multiculturalism creates tensions. Immigrants from the Maghreb, who arrived in the 20th century, often live in isolated estates, fostering the formation of ghettos. Despite the grim picture, Marseille is making efforts to change. La Provence describes President Emmanuel Macron's March 2024 operation, which saw 4,000 police officers patrolling the city weekly, arresting over 80 people in the first days. In 2024, new youth centers opened in La Bousserine, and investments were made in renovating housing estates. France Info reports that drug dealer arrests rose by 26% compared to 2023. However, Le Monde warns that without systemic changes, better education, jobs, and integration, crime will keep returning. Marseille is a city that can enchant and terrify in the same moment. We've shown you its dark side, 2024 statistics that shock and stories that break the heart. But Marseille is also about people fighting for a better future, mothers who don't lose hope, young people dreaming of a different life, and police officers risking everything to restore order. Will this city ever reclaim its brilliance? That depends on its residents, authorities, and whether the world stops pretending the problem doesn't exist. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, as there's plenty more fascinating content about crime in Western countries coming your way. Let me know in the comments what you think about France and whether you believe it's still a country that can be saved.